See perhaps also. Info evidence, 24th April 2005. After the first and the second contact. See, impossible, these videos. Only 22 days passed. And then...
debris. As you watch these explosions come off, it highlights both energy that's blown off the sun, debris, and energy that's in the solar system, surrounding the sun, between Earth and the sun. Again, this is SDO, a different satellite, but still are right there. The ones in the center is growing. We're getting the larger actual flares from the center one here. But I'm going to show you the charts on them. Also, notice in the top, this is that coronal hole that we had with the heat, and we've had a Hyder flare right there. That filament that we were watching yesterday, you can't see it rise because we're looking straight at it. But notice the wave that comes out at the bottom on both sides. That's called a Hyder flare. You can Google that, H-Y-D-E-R. But that's when a filament rises. The gravity of the sun pulls it back down and it collapses. Notice how it goes over that dark purple, that heat of the sun. Check that out. Now, I'm going to go through a couple of different cameras here, but we've got filaments that have, that's the tail end one there, as the Hyder flare collapsed, and see how far it reached. Remember, it takes 109 Earths if you place them across the face of the sun to cover the distance, to give you an idea of how massive each one of these objects that we're looking at. Again, in the dark green there, that's the coronal hole. And I'm going to stop this and pause it on these strong flares. Again, Earth-facing images from the Solar Dynamics Observatory there. And I'll show you these on the charts. It's the strongest one in a few weeks. There, look at that arc, the power inside that. It's huge. And that's what's happening is these sunspots are growing and spots around them are starting to tie in together, and that's why we're getting these multiple magnetic fields. And I'll show you that. Check this out on the close-up. But the SDO is by far our best camera, guys. It's to watch the sun with. You don't have the Earth's atmosphere as you do from ground-based telescopes. And they can really analyze, and you can too with the different cameras. Here's our peak. We went to an M3 that, notice, started on the 27th, up through the different flares, and then this one. That's the strongest one. And if you go back almost in a couple weeks, guys, and you can see there, as I was doing the video, just a slight uptick. But we're going to watch this. All three of those sunspots are strong, and they're Earth-facing. You can see the three there. 13 and 34 here on the right, beta, gamma, delta. See that with the red arrow? That's what you need for X flares. Now 36 is going to be right behind it. It is beta, gamma, and probably by tomorrow you're going to see that one capable of X flares. You can see the different colorations in both areas there, guys. That's telling you that you're getting a mixture of magnetic fields. Looking at the proton chart from the ACE satellites, and let's look at the flare tracker. This is the one this morning out to the left. Check that out. I'm going to let it play back through. Very strong. Notice also ISUN in the pink square, according to this model. Now, it's not exactly accurate, but you can see that the Earth is in the green dot just behind ISUN. Excuse me, in the yellow dot just behind ISUN. And the light pink square is the MAVEN satellite. It's probably got the best pictures of ISUN there is, and we're not being shown them. They're saying they're going to launch it out to Mars next. Now, looking at the American Meteorite Society website, guys, notice Texas, Nevada, and that's on the dates of the 29th. They came in today. This was last night. San Jose, California, Turlock, Wiley, Katy, Texas, San Antonio, Cleburne, Universal City, and Las Vegas. And also A third report came in from the UK, and this is the map from last night of the sightings, but that's Edinburgh. And you can come here, and I'll link to this. This is the Lunar Meteorite Hunter site. Notice here the Meteor Alert large bolide meteorite events expected from the 26th up to January 2014. Excuse me, up to the 12th of January 2014. And guys, that's when we're really in the center of the debris field, is the 12th. We're not past that of the incoming trail of iSun before it went around the sun. It's a heads up on this, guys, and we have got a schedule on our next radio show that will be 30 minutes after Paul Begley's show, Monday afternoon. That's 3:30 Eastern, 2:30 Central Time. But we're going to go there, watch his show, and then we're going to take the latest incoming on reports. And I encourage everyone to call in. Guys, the first show was kind of a technological disaster like I expected it to be. But sometimes you just got to jump in instead of being afraid to do it and learn it. And if you guys want to do that or make videos, just do it. Throw it out there and you'll learn, and I'm learning. But guys, we had about 700 and something people all together. And that's pretty good. And even though all the tech switches on my end weren't working properly, it was a great show, and I appreciate everyone calling in, and I encourage it. We're going to take calls, and we're going to let you talk about what you feel like is important. Heads up, be safe.
That exploded over Russia gave 2.2% of the population burns to their skin. New research says an explosion such as this, we actually could expect once at least every 25 years. Brighter than the sun, studying new details on the meteor that exploded over Russia. Thanks largely to eyewitness and video footage, researchers have documented Chelyabinsk with incredible detail. It was a blast felt around the world when the Chelyabinsk meteor exploded over Russia in February. Its shockwave was powerful enough to emit subsonic waves to far-flung regions across the planet. It says that the resulting shockwave sent 1,200 people to hospitals in the Chelyabinsk Oblast area that day. By watching various amateur video clips of the rock as it serves precise trajectory, its speed upon entering the atmosphere, exactly where it fragmented it into smaller pieces, and the point at which that explosion shone most powerful. That moment, a searing bright flash 30 times stronger than the sun, actually caused severe sunburns among bystanders. Shockwaves from the fireball, the team concluded, caused damage to an area up to 50 miles from the meteor's trajectory on either side. Fortunately, the largest fragment from the explosion, a 1,250-pound meteorite, hit a frozen lake. The team was able to recover that piece, and their subsequent analysis revealed that the rock, a relatively ordinary chondrite space rock, was more than 4,400 million years old. A new study published this week in Nature warns that the likelihood of events like Chelyabinsk is 10 times higher than experts had thought, making the phenomenon one we can expect every 25 years or so. Here's the illustration of its impact and where it was felt. It was traveling 11.6 miles per second, or 40,000 miles per hour. The meteor was brightest at 18 miles, I guess, above Earth when it exploded into fragments. 76% of the meteor evaporated before hitting the ground. 3,613 apartments had their windows shattered by the explosion, and 2.2% of the people outside at the time reported sunburns. Alright, bookmark my site. I'll keep you up to date. Please stay safe, and I'll talk to you later. God bless you. Bye.
And what you're looking at is one of the craziest fireballs I've ever witnessed. Hundreds of people seen this streak across the skies of Germany. And when they back out, you will see exactly where they're filming from. But one of the most interesting characteristics of this object is the fact that it changes direction. You could also see that it looks as if it's like dripping flames. See how it just cut that corner? And then burst. You're going to see it change direction again. And it reminds me of some kind of craft if it was shot and on fire, coming down, still halfway under control, zigging and zagging back and forth. I've never seen a meteorite ever act like this. They always are usually in a straight line. And as you can see, as this thing is coming down through the sky, it is on fire and it's just dripping flames. An amazing fireball event taking place in the skies over Germany. Wanted to share it with you. Ice and debris? Related? I don't know, guys. Till next time, eyes to the skies.